What's happening, guys? It's your girl Mina. Welcome back to my channel. First and foremost, happy Friday. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Does my camera look a bit blurry? It looks blurry a bit on the back end of my channel, but I'm hoping that it's just a little glitch with YouTube. I'm not gonna lie. Nah, it's not blurry. Big up to everybody in the chat. You guys know what it is. Friday night settings, all Gucci over here. Before we actually get into talking about the weekend, talking about the football, all of that, I want to know, how has your week been? How's your day been? I hope you guys have had a great week and I hope you guys have had a good day. My day's been all right. My day's been pretty chilled. I've just been raging on EAFC. Ultimate Team is doing my head in. It's actually Weekend League. If you play Weekend League on Ultimate Team, doing my head in. But other than that, football's about to be back on the weekend. Content's about to be back. And I can't complain. I can't complain. Of course, we're going to talk about Manchester United versus Everton. I'm going to talk about why I'm quite confident going into this weekend, going into the game on Sunday. We're going to talk a bit about, obviously, what Ten Hag spoke about in the press conference. We're going to talk a bit about the Rafael Varane situation, if you want to call it a situation. We're going to talk about the injuryness, is that even a word? The injury illness, whatever you want to call it, going around right now with Mason Mount set to be out for at least a month. Obviously, Luke Shaw coming back. And then we're going to give our little predictions as well. Big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to Koala. Shout out to Kadeem, our resident Everton fan. Hopefully we got something to laugh about on Sunday, and hopefully he ain't got something to laugh about in the chat. Big up to Daniel, says happy Friday. Yay. Yeah. I don't even know what that says. It's Friday night, so I don't need to read properly. Ready for the week to end, ready for real football. Big up to Cabs in the chat. As always, you guys already know what it is. If you want to become a member of the channel, you can. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you got custom content. I got something on the way for the members. That's all I have to say. You can become a member with a 2-tier system and you can support the growth of the channel. Now, before we get in to previewing the game or talking about the game or whatever you want to call it, let's talk about the Varane thing. Because obviously, it seems like it's been a very quiet week when it comes to Manchester United news. And then the day before the football weekend returns, bam, Daily Mail come out with Daily Mail. Come on, guys. But anyways, Daily Mail come out with some information surrounding Rafael Varane and how, the whole idea of him potentially moving in January wasn't a big, I don't think it was a big revelation. I think we kind of knew it. It had been reported by a report in Germany as well last week, saying that Bayern Munich were interested in him. However, they have, I can't remember who the reporters were at Daily Mail. Not gonna lie, I don't really read them too much. But talking about Rafael Varane and the manager falling out. Now, obviously, this brings out, all the Eric Ten Hagers out and all the pro Eric Ten Hagers and whatever you want, and the entire fan base and all the other, I guess, football critics talking about the manager and, this is the third player he's fallen out with, la, 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 la. Listen, one thing I will say, is that I've been saying it for ages. Varane is leaving. Whether it's January or the summer, Varane is leaving. Now, in my opinion, I think the whole situation, and I want to hear you guys' thoughts as well, what you lot think about Rafael Varane. Do you think he actually deserves to be fourth or fifth in line for the centre-back position? It seems like Eric Ten Hag is really sticking to this philosophy of having right-footed right centre-backs and left-footed left centre-backs. If that's his actual true reasoning, it seems like he's really sticking to that philosophy. However, I'm not too sure I'm buying it. And the reason why I say I'm not too sure I'm buying it is because the manager, who's always, I think he's open to criticism, the manager has always kind of abandoned philosophies of his over the last couple months, over the last 12 months that he's abandoned many philosophies of him because, he realizes that the players aren't cut to do it or it's not working in a game, etc. And I feel like if he really wanted to, Rafael Varane, when he's fit, I think is the best centre-back that Manchester United have right now, alongside Lisandro Martinez. Last year, clean sheet galore for David De Gea. When Varane and Martinez was playing together, they were both fit. But let's not ignore the facts. Let's not be hard-headed. Let's not ignore the facts that Raphael Varane is very, very injury prone. If we could get 10 games consistently out of him, he would be an absolute, what's the word? He'd be a force to be reckoned with. If we could get 10 games in a row out of him. You know, saying 20 games in a row is just me being optimistic. That's just wishful thinking. And I know, like, I'm in two ways about it. I'm in two ways about it, because I love Raphael Varane. I think, you know, the qualities that he has as a player on the pitch, forget even what off the pitch, but on the pitch, for me, I think he's a big difference maker. Off the pitch, you know, I remember watching the France documentary. Sorry, not the France documentary. I remember watching the Pogba documentary and how highly Pogba spoke of him. I've seen like multiple, when France won the World Cup, how much of a key part he was. He was a leader. Lloris, yes, was the captain, but Varane was really the spine of holding that team together. And I feel like his leadership qualities should not be undermined when we, you know, look at the fact that he's not been able to play. Just because he's not been able to play because he's been out injured does not mean that he does not have the ability to still have influence over the team. And people are saying him and the manager didn't fall out, but I can't remember what game it was. If you guys can remind me, but there was a game he came on as a sub because it was Evans got injured. It was Evans, or was it Evans that got in? No, it was Maguire. It was Maguire or Evans. One of them got injured in a game. And Varane had to come on because he was the only centre back on the that was available. And the manager did not even look at him. Him and the manager's eyes didn't even cross paths or nothing. Did not cross paths or anything. None of that. And to me, I think that was the first sign, main sign that maybe there is some truth to it. Let me see what people are saying in the chat. I'm actually going to drop the link in a bit so that you lot can jump in. When we start talking about, obviously, the Everton game, I'd like to hear what people think, especially about the Mason Mount injury. But first and foremost, big up to Keegan, who just gifted 5 memberships. I told you lot on my last stream. How do we say 5 in my language? It's shun. That's what we do. We say, that's how we say it. Big up to Keegan. Much appreciated. Shout out for the endless support to the channel, of course, and upgraded his membership as well to a tier 2. If you didn't get the membership and you were lucky, you know, you were unlucky, sorry, to not get the membership, then you guys can go and slap the link, pinned comment in the chat, and you guys can become a member as well. But big up to Keegan all the time in the chat. Big up to Show, says deduction bounce. We better be ready. You see, this is why I called the video deduction hype, yeah? Because outside of the deduction thing, yeah, I was still feeling confident about going into this Everton game. Yes, it's Goodison Park. It's Goodison Park, yes. You know, they're a team already fighting for every point, every kind of relegation. You know, relegation is a big thing right now, especially with Burnley, etc. So aside from that, you know, very physical team. You know, Abdoulaye Doucouré is playing as a second striker. He's played as a second striker. Arnaud Danjuma, my boy, can't even get into the team. It's real Sean Dyche football. Like, it's just strength, height, and just hoof that ball up. Going into the game, I was confident. And then obviously the whole deduction thing happened. And you know what? I think they were on a winning streak going in. I remember they won 3-2 because I remember Idris Gueye scored a winner. I think it was against Brentford, if I'm not wrong. I'm saying deduction hype, guys. And I'm going to come back to that. I just want to hear about the whole Varane thing, and then I'm going to come back to that. Big up to Koala, says, we need to back the manager. These players can go. Varane, Sancho, Anthony, Rashford, and Casemiro need to go. Why are we boxing Rashford into the same bracket? Why are we putting Rashford in the same box as these players? Why are we putting Rashford into the same box? That's what I want to know. Please, guys, enlighten me why we are doing that. Because I'm not going to lie, I've seen a theory or a philosophy of recent where a lot of people are saying, you know, the manager's trying to get rid of all the highest earners. And if it's true, if it's actually true that he's trying to get rid of all the highest earners, then I think that kind of says a lot. That means he's trying to do a favor for the Glazers, guys. That means he's trying to do a favor for the Glazers. Big up to Flawless in the chat. Says, shouts to Min. I hope you're good. Big up, Mr. Take Note. You guys already know what it is. Big up Flawless. Make sure you look check out his channel, Sarcasm City TV. It's been a minute since I featured on it. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a hot minute that I ain't featured in it. But big up to Flawless, of course. Big up Wildcat, says, big up Minna. Evans against Copenhagen. That was the game. That you know, Varane's relationship should we call it, Varane's relationship with Erik ten Hag looked like it was reaching a rocky time. Now, I know a lot of people just want stuff to talk about, and they want, they just want to, it's the whole I told you so versus I didn't tell you so. Essentially, that's how I feel it is. It's the whole I told you so kind of thing. But this whole situation with Raphael Varane, I'm not gonna lie, I would be, oh shit, my comments just disappeared. I think it's back now, so I can see it. No. StreamYard, you don't want to bring it back? You don't want to bring it back? Damn, how am I meant to read people's comments? StreamYard just playing around with me right now. I just clicked something and my chat just disappeared. So, there you go. It's back. Chat is back. But what I was going to say is the whole Raphael Varane situation, for me, I don't think it's this whole, oh, he's pushing out players, la, la, la. Oh, by the way, guys, I've dropped the link in the chat. So if you don't want to jump in, feel free to, of course, just put your name in the title thing so I can see who you are, obviously. No trolls welcome. You guys know, strictly good vibes. But this whole Varane thing, if we're being very honest, guys, and just, take your rose-tinted glasses off if you're anti-Ten Hag, and take your rose-tinted glasses off if you're pro-Ten Hag, just from a rational perspective. You cannot look at me and say, Varane is not the best defender at Manchester United out of the options that they have right now. Of course, a lot of players are playing on form. Maguire's playing on form. Johnny Evans on form. Going into the Manchester derby to drop Varane over Evans, for me, that is questionable. That is questionable. And even if it's this idea that the manager wants to stick to his philosophy and everything, and I saw a report that actually was implying at the fact that, Varane's team, his, staff, whatever, his entourage, feel like this is a scare tactic to basically get rid of him because of his wages. Ronaldo, highest earner on the team, gone. Jadon Sancho is waiting for Raphael Varane to meet him in the under-18s car park. Because it sounds like Raphael Varane is about one more leaked information from being kicked to the under-18s. Sancho, another high earner. Casemiro, another player who we've heard reportedly has fallen out with the manager. It's just a lot of reports of players falling out with the manager. And it's going to take me to my next point, because my next point is about injuries. Mason Mount has another muscle injury. This is a guy that has had injury problems at Chelsea. Before he even joined, he did have injury problems. That was the case. But another non-contact injury for a player. What does that mean? That basically means, I think, in my opinion, it means that players are overworked, they're fatigued, their muscles are not having enough time to rest. I don't know if it's because of, the turnaround of the number of games that they're playing. I don't know if it's because training is so intense. I don't know if their bodies are just breaking down on them. But for me, I think it's a big red flag. It's kind of like a warning flag when so many players have gotten injured this season alone. I'm trying to figure out who has actually got injured from a contact injury. I can't name anyone that's gotten injured from a contact injury, because it seems like everyone that we have heard has gotten injured. Wan-Bissaka, another player that got injured from a non-contact injury. Lisandro Martinez kind of just, I think, triggered something that he already had, an injury that he already had. So that was a non-contact one as well, but I think it was just a reoccurring injury from what he already had. Mason Mount, another one. Rasmus Højlund, same as Licha. He came in with this injury, and now he's also out. Eriksen, no one even touched him. And he went down. At what point do we start thinking, okay, well, why are our players just falling like flies? Newcastle, another team that have injury problems. A lot of teams have injury problems, but I really don't feel like a lot of people or a lot of teams have the injury issues or the injury crisis that Manchester United have. And I'm not even going to talk about the leeway that a lot of other clubs get from the media in comparison to Manchester United. I'm just more so concerned. That a player can be running and just pull a muscle, get a muscle injury from no contact, just from running. Does that mean, I wish I could bring like a physiotherapist. One of my friends is a physiotherapist. I should call her, ask her to come on the channel, because I really would like to know the logical perspective from it regarding these kind of injuries, because the only thing that I'm not too critical about the Mount thing, well, I'm more critical actually about the Mount thing, is because Mount is a player that's had reoccurring injuries at Chelsea. So this should have been obviously on their radar when they went to pay flipping 60 million for him. This should have been on their radar, but they still signed him. They're the same team that flipping signed Rasmus Højlund, who had an injury, Amrabat, who had an injury. How many players did we actually sign that came fit? Last summer, how many of them actually were fit? That is actually a great question, Mina. That's a great question. It seemed like 50% of the players that we signed in the summer were all injured, literally. They came in with a pre-existing injury. So I feel like it's inevitable that they will kind of re-trigger that injury during the season at some point. And it's happened. It's happened to Rasmus Højlund. It's happened to Mason Mount. It's literally just happened. And for me, it's frustrating. I can't imagine what Ten Hag thinks. I can't imagine what Ten Hag thinks in terms of not thinks or more so feels, because he's not getting any leeway from the media. He's not getting any leeway from the fans, and he's basically fielding teams with second and third options. But I think that if your second and third options were good enough, we wouldn't be in the issue that we are this season. But I think that's a testament to how much our players actually suck. If we're being honest, I think it's honestly a testament. Big up to Keegan says, looks like the highest earners have the biggest egos and the manager has no time for that. Players need to play for the shirt. Okay, guys, let's be honest. Talking about talking about what Keegan mentioned here about the whole egos thing. Jadon Sancho, for example, I've never had the impression, guys, that he had an ego. I don't think I've ever had that impression that he has an ego. How do we get the impression that players have an ego? Ronaldo, I think, is a player, not gonna lie, has every right to have an ego. No one can chat to him. No one can chat to him because of what he's achieved in his career. So if he does have it, when Ibrahimovic has an ego, yeah, a guy that's won a lot of stuff, but ain't won near enough as much as Cristiano Ronaldo, yeah? He ain't won what Cristiano Ronaldo has won. But when Ibrahimovic has an ego, and that's okay because it's his personality. But when Ronaldo has that ego, it was an issue. Okay, let's get past that point. Jadon Sancho, please, can someone tell me, when have we ever seen him to have an ego? Because I don't think I've ever seen it. And, I'm going off of the same thing that everyone else is going off, which is, what we see on the pitch, what we see on social media, etc. Because none of us really know him personally. But I don't think Jadon Sancho has ever struck me as the kind of player that had an ego. Yeah, he earns a lot of money. Do we base egos on wearing jewelry and, wearing chains and watches and driving expensive cars and, wearing expensive clothing? Is that what we're basing egos on? Because if you look at Jadon Sancho, Varane, for example, if people are saying Varane has an ego, this is the least egotistical guy I've seen on our team. I'm not joking, guys. Raphael Varane is the least egotistical person I've seen. He just looks, in my language, we say miskeen. Miskeen is got a different, in my language, it's got a different meaning to what it means in Arabic or other languages. Miskeen just means, shy, timid, just quiet. Drake went and got it tattooed on his eyebrow like an idiot. I don't know why he did that. But to me, Varane gives me miskeen vibes. That's literally the vibes. And you know what? I even saw it, obviously, back to the Pogba documentary. But him and Pogba were really close friends because of the French national team. And Pogba was helping him when he in his first season, helping him settle in and everything. Varane just seemed like a quiet guy to me. He just seemed like a quiet guy. Keegan validates his point, says Sancho can't apologize. Ego. Would we say that not apologizing is having an ego? Because he just might think he's genuinely right in his way. I think that's more so stubborn than having an ego. Because if I think, for example, if I have an opinion and I'm adamant that my opinion is right, I don't think that's me having an ego. I think that's me just being stubborn. I think that's just me being stubborn. I think the issue is that I think the manager has failed to win players over. And a big part of this, sadly, I think, is the Jadon Sancho situation. I feel like Jadon Sancho is liked by a lot of players. I think a lot of players do like him. A lot of players in the dressing room like him. He's got a lot of friends in the dressing room. And I think that the way this whole situation has kind of unwinded has been unfortunate because, if I'm not going to lie, guys, yeah, it's like when you go to, let me give you an example, yeah? You're in school, yeah? There's one person in your class just causing bear havoc. The teacher can't control that person. The teacher tells teacher tells that kid, apologize, say sorry. The teacher says apologize. You say I don't know, Okay, I'll give you like example because I'm gonna give you like a legit example, yeah, because I was a troublesome kid in school. I was in class once. This was like year 10. So if you're from the UK, you know what year 10 is. If you're not from the UK, that's when you're like 14 years old. Me and my friends were sitting at the back of the class, and one of my friends was throwing basically little scrunched up pieces of paper into balls, was throwing it at the teacher every time the teacher turned their head around to write on the whiteboard. Now, because I was a troublesome kid back in school, the teacher turned around and started shouting at me. I was like, "Stop, but come here and pick it." The teacher was like, "Come here and pick it up." And I was like, "No, I'm not gonna pick it up. I didn't throw it, so I'm not gonna come and pick it up." Oh, the teacher's still having a go at me, having a go at me. In that kind of situation, yeah, as a student, if your teacher can't control the class and can't control that one student, I'm not gonna lie, other students are gonna look a bit sideways at that teacher and be like, "Oh, like the teacher can't even control that student. Like, what makes them think that they can control anyone else?" And I feel like it's a similar situation with the Sancho thing. I think Sancho has, this situation with Sancho, I think the manager was hoping it would blow over. Sancho would apologize, but Sancho sees no wrong in what he's done and what he said. And I'm being very honest, guys. Be very honest. Put football aside, put United aside, put Sancho aside, just from life perspective. If you feel like you've done nothing wrong, are you going to apologize for something that you feel like you haven't done? And that's why I say I understand both sides of the Sancho and kind of Ten Hag situation. Wildcat says he's never shown ego problems. Koala says without an ego, Sancho would have stayed silent and just faded into the gulag and joined Donny van der Beek. Varane doesn't get playing time, fallout with the manager, ... Ego, now we hear Bayern talks. I feel like these are just players that they want to ship off. Like, I honestly feel like it's players that they want to ship off. Jaden's ego was demonstrated by his response to his boss simply saying he didn't train well. I think he's more lazy and entitled than anything else. I hear that last part. Maybe I don't think he has an ego, but maybe more so he's just lazy. I think he ain't got... Maybe he doesn't have passion, and maybe we should talk about why he doesn't have passion, because at Borussia Dortmund, he seemed like the most passionate guy. He seemed like he wanted to win it all. He wanted to take Borussia Dortmund all the way to the top. He looked, as soon as he came to United, all of that down the drain. All of that down the drain. I don't think Kadeem says, I think if you didn't do anything wrong, you don't need to apologize. That's basically the same opinion I have, and that's why I'm not like, if Jadon Sancho genuinely thinks it just means that his end of time is coming at the club. We all know that. CR7, less playing time and wants to play more. Manager has a different system, different playing time. CR7 and Piers Morgan interview. He doesn't respect the manager. Ego. But back to the Ronaldo thing. If you guys remember, Ronaldo was playing. I remember so many people saying Ronaldo needs to get dropped. Like, I remember going back and forth with, on UV, going back and forth with people, this whole Ronaldo thing around September, October times. When, I remember specifically, Europa League having issues when we were winning away from home 1-0 against Ammonia and whatever. And Ronaldo was starting, playing up top. And, people were calling for him to be dropped in those games, but he was playing. I think it was more so the different system. But let's be real, the manager just shipped off Ronaldo and we got flipping Weghorst. Like, let's be real. We got Weghorst as a replacement for him. I'm not going to lie. I'm never player FC, except for Pogba. But I'm never player FC, guys. But I think out of all the situations that has happened, I think this Varane one is the most interesting to me, because to me, Varane just does not seem like a problematic guy in any kind of way. He has every right to be disappointed with not playing, especially when he thinks he's better than Evans. And, newsflash, he is. It's just that Evans, Maguire, McTominay, etc., these are players playing on form. And you know what? The manager is staying true. The manager is staying true to this idea that he has, where if you perform well, you play, right? If everyone agrees with me. McTominay plays because he performs well. Maguire is playing because he performs well. Evans is playing because he performs well. So tell me why, and this is why I go back to the point about the fact that I don't believe this manager's philosophies and ideas and that. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not Ten Hag out, but I question what he says sometimes, because Hannibal plays well one game, gets dropped the next. plays well again, then gets dropped the next. So if we go by this logic of if you play well, you will start, then what? Honestly, then what? I don't know, man. I'm gonna come back to this question towards the end of the stream. Please remind me about this one. Big up to Dead and Gone says, if players are affected by Eric Ten Hag treating Jadon like the employee that he is, then their loyalty is neither to the club nor the fans. Do you guys actually believe that this is right? Like this whole Sancho thing? Because I'm torn into, like, guys, I'm sitting on the fence, innit? I've said it bare times too long. I'm sitting on the fence about this whole Sancho thing. A part of me is, I'm understanding where the manager's coming from, and I'm understanding where Sancho's coming from. But I don't think I think both of them are right and both of them are wrong. You know, I feel like both of them have done. I think, you know, the manager did nothing wrong, I think, with what he said in his press conference, i.e., he was asked a question, why is Sancho not playing? And he said, you know, this is what happened in training. He was not performing. And I get it. You can only pick, what is it, 20-something, 21 players? You can't make the cut all the time. So I understand that. You're not performing, you don't get picked. It's as simple as that. It was like that when I was in school, playing for the school basketball team, etc. It was like that when I played for the school football team, etc. So it makes sense in a professional environment. Sancho then clapping back. I didn't really agree with that. I didn't agree with him clapping back on the internet, but I think it was more a clap back at the media, because you guys know those days after that, the media went wild. Daily Mail, Telegraph, all of these guys were going mad with clickbait interviews about Jadon Sancho being egotistical, being lazy, bringing up things from Borussia Dortmund, bringing up things from England. He was more so, I think, clapping back at the media. What I don't agree with what Ten Hag has done is isolating him out of the team. Okay, you're not going to, he's not going to play in the first team. Let him train with the first team. Let him train. If he's not going to play. But the fact that he's so adamant that until he apologizes, he can't come back. I don't know, man. I'm in two ways about it. I'm in two ways about it. Mina, the manager is the manager. He sets the plan. Anyone who goes against that can leave. Call it an ego or attitude. I don't care. They need to find the exit. In that case, because I think it's more so the manager just doesn't want the people that that was there when he came in. I feel like Bruno Fernandes and Rashford are probably the only ones that will survive this exodus or whatever you want to call it. I think they will survive it. Why? Because I don't doubt in any way, that Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford, forget about their performances on the pitch, guys, but as a professional, I do not doubt at any point, that Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford are not good professionals in Carrington. Like, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt it one bit. I think, as much as we can talk about what Bruno Fernandes does or doesn't, or, the frustrating things of his play, I think it's safe to say that when it comes to, because Bruno Fernandes got respect from everyone. Every player, if you watch any interview that players do and you ask, who is one player that you'd want to play with that's not on your team, I seen one and they were like, Bruno Fernandes, he creates chances, blah blah blah. I think Bruno and Rashford are the only ones that will survive this. I think Sancho he's gonna get got. I think Varane is gonna get got. Casemiro is gonna get got. These are all players that kind of they weren't the manager's signings. They weren't managers that have come in. They weren't players that have come in with the manager. I think when we look at it, maybe next summer, by the end of next summer transfer window, Bruno and Rashford will be the only main players from that crop of players, the Ollie crop. And maybe Luke Shaw. But even then, I'm just like, why are people so excited about Luke Shaw's return? I'm happy when players come back in general, but why are people acting like Luke Shaw's return is going to make us win the league? Okay, we've lacked a lot of creativity on that left-hand side. We've lacked a lot of creativity on that side. Big up to M. Shah says, Ten Hag brought Cass. I don't think Cass was a Ten Hag signing. I don't think Ten Hag wanted him, because there's no way that you go from chasing De Jong all window and then ending up with a player of a completely different play style. Completely different. I think he was that marquee signing. I think they wanted to get rid of Ronaldo that summer. I know from people who have told me personally, I know that Saudi wanted Ronaldo from last summer. Obviously, he went to Saudi in January, but I know that Saudi were interested in him from the summer. Al Nassr wanted him from last summer, but the club were struggling to get what they wanted for him. They wanted a fee for him, and basically Al Nassr weren't having that. I think Casemiro, and if anyone disagrees with me, do let me know. I do think Casemiro was a club signing. I think they needed to bring in someone of that name, someone 5-time Champions League winner, big ex-Real Madrid player. They needed to shut up the fans, essentially. They needed, because really and truly, I would say this summer transfer window is the only probably summer transfer window that we haven't brought a marquee name in football. Unless you guys say Onana, Højlund, etc., Mount, whatever is a marquee name. But, we brought Casemiro. The summer before that, we brought in Sancho, Varane, and flipping Ronaldo. We brought all of them in. I think Casemiro was just the here, shut up. Flipping Arnold and them guys, the ones that are about to be on their way to the job center soon. They just picked it. They said, here you go. Here's your little shiny new toy. And they gave us Casemiro. Because that summer transfer window was shambles. January summer transfer windows was shambles. Oh, no, summer transfer window. I'm here bugging. But guys, you know how much I hated that? Oh my God. Oh my days. I'm literally just getting flashbacks, yeah? I'm literally getting flashbacks to waking up every morning going on. This is how you knew it was an illness, guys. I was waking up every morning typing in De Jong on Twitter just to see how many times did we get here you goes from Fabrizio Romano saying that United and Barca agreed fees. I think the De Jong thing was the topic of discussion on all socials and all kind of content creators. If I go back and just look at all the content creators last year, I'm sure every day, every thumbnail had a picture of De Jong on it. But that's why I say, sorry, I just went on a tangent. But that's why I say that to me, I don't think Ten Hag I don't think he wanted Cass. I think he got him. He worked with him. He was happy to do so. But I don't think he was the manager signing. Luke Shaw is English. Media will hype him up. Don't get me wrong, man. I rate Luke Shaw. I like Luke Shaw. I hope that Luke Shaw returning will turn Rashford back into the Rashford. Because I keep seeing people say, oh, Rashford needs a fullback that overlaps and he needs a fullback that supports him. But if that's the case, then I want to see something. I want to see something this weekend if Luke Shaw's back. It'll be nice to have someone playing in that position that actually plays in that position. We've had Amrabat playing there. We've had Lindelof playing there. We've had, what's it called? Dalot playing there. It'll be nice for once to just see a left back playing at left back. And I hope this also is a sign that a lot of players are now coming back from injury as well. I'm hoping that's a sign as well. Big up to Keegan with the super chat. Appreciate the contribution. Says, we've been down this road and players keep surviving. It's time to back the manager and hold these players to high expectations. We demand better. In that case, guys, let's do a yes-no kind of thing then in that case, because let's talk about all the players that need to leave. Who needs to leave in order for the manager to kind of have the opportunity to start afresh? Because let's be real, one thing I sympathize with Ten Hag, and to be honest, it's every manager before him, is that they come in with a team that is a combination of 3 managers. Like, Ten Hag came in, there were still players from Sir Alex Ferguson's last season. Yeah? There was David De Gea, who was the last guy. But also then Johnny Evans the next season. So he had players from, some players who have survived all of these managers. Rashford, Luke Shaw have survived Van Gaal, Martial. They have survived everybody from Van Gaal. Everyone. Lindelof. I don't know how Lindelof has survived this long. I think Lindelof is a great backup option. But that's it. I don't think so. There's so many players now that I'm thinking about. I'm thinking, how are they still here? How have they survived that long? There's a lot of players under Jose Mourinho. After him, I would have shipped them out. I would have absolutely shipped them out. But they've survived this long. And half of the team right now is players that the manager has inherited, and the other half is players that he's brought in. I don't want the manager, and I've made it clear before, with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, etc., coming in. I do not want the manager to have too much control over transfers, because we've seen what we ended up with Anthony. Yeah, we've ended up with Anthony. But I would like for the manager's style of football and philosophy, etc., to be taken into consideration. And I don't doubt that they will, to be honest, because it seems like from what we're hearing, there's a proper, structure in place for recruitment, etc. Yeah. So I hope the manager don't have too much control over transfers. I'm hoping they have a recruitment system. I'm hoping they have a scouting system set in place and all of that stuff, where United will sign essentially players that can not only play for the manager, but match. What I'm trying to say is that I feel like the manager's philosophy and the club needs to level up somehow. It needs to be level. How we see the Manchester, because we always hear people saying this is not the Manchester United way of playing football. When was the last time we even saw the Manchester United way of playing football, if we're being honest? So if they can somehow align, the Manchester United way of playing and the manager's style of playing, if they can align that together, where even if Ten Hag was to leave, United football would still have an identity, right? Then I can fully get behind transfer windows. But you guys are dropping some names in the chat, so I'm going to quickly, let me get to some of the comments, and then we're going to go through some of the names. Big up to Wildcat, says, Gary Neville said, Manchester United has become a graveyard for any player coming in. We had players coming in and having dead careers. I used to make this joke, guys, about players going to Chelsea. Do you guys remember there was a time where strikers went to Chelsea and it was just the curse of the number 9? United have become that. But we've become that for players across the thing. Juan Mata came to Manchester United at the age of what, 25? Except for his overhead kick, I couldn't tell you anything else he did. I could not tell you anything else he did aside from that overhead kick. I think I remember games that he came on and he influenced, etc. But to come at 25 and to leave at the age you did and just have a bang average career when you join the club is just disappointing. It's just so disappointing. Big up to Suleiman in the chat, says his free kick versus Juve. He's had some good moments, but I think for the time that he was at the club and the age that he joined at, it's not adding up. Like, come on, he joined at 25, he left at 30 something. It's not adding up. And I think it's more so to do with the club's failure. The club failed him. Had he stayed at Chelsea, he might have had an even crazier career. The only thing Erik ten Hag didn't have power over is the new contracts that were issued to players when he was just arriving at the club. I'm trying to think who got new contracts not last summer. I thought they put a hold on it until the manager came in. But let's see some of these names. Dead and Gone says Martial, Maguire, Rashford, Dalot, McTominay, Anthony can all go. It's pretty crazy how out of that entire list that Dead and Gone has mentioned there, Anthony's really the only newbie there. All the rest of them have been there over the duration of 1, 2, 3 managers. I'm sorry, guys. I cannot get behind the idea of Rashford. I'm sorry, guys. Please, cook me all you want in the chat. I'm not saying Rashford's world class. I'm not. But I can't get behind the idea of he's had a poor season. And you know what, guys? I'm a hypocrite because I've been criticizing him. But this international break, yeah, and I've had a very the last couple of weeks has been very reflective for me. It's given me opportunities just to reflect on life, and as a result of that, I've reflected on football, yeah. And I've just thought, you know what? I've been too harsh on Rashford this season. It's been frustrating to watch. It's been very frustrating to watch. But this is a player that's essentially having a bad season after having a decent, like, I don't talk about that Ragnick season, the Ollie half Ragnick season. To me, that's a clean slate for everyone. Yeah, I don't acknowledge that season. Rashford has given us a good number of seasons over the last couple of years. Take me back to them lockdown days, watching him and Martial and he who shall not be named. Take me back to that. I think the only thing I can't get behind is the idea that Rashford needs to get got. I can't get behind that. But everyone else on this list, I think Martial will leave. I think this summer, if they can't offload him in January, then I say he will leave for free. I think it's one of them ones where they'll just cut their losses. If they can't get a fee for him, if they can't get a little light 10 million, then I think they'll just cut their losses. He's given us some good memories as well. Martial's given us some good memories. But I think the issue with United is they just can't seem to part ways with people when they should. They're like a clingy ex-girlfriend. Yeah. They're like a clingy girlfriend, not even ex-girlfriend. They're a clingy girlfriend. They don't know when the relationship is coming to an end. They don't know when the relationship's coming to an end, and they should be like, we got to go. We need to part ways. So Maguire, it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. Dallo, that guy just got a new contract to 2029. He ain't going anywhere. McTominay, another one that was, potentially to be shipped in the summer. He's still here. I'm still here. That's exactly what he's saying. Him and Maguire are just laughing at everyone. They're like, you thought you got rid of me? Surprise. I'm still here. Literally. I don't see them leaving. I don't see McTominay leaving. I think if Maguire, between Maguire and McTominay, is one or the other, if I'm being honest. I don't think the club will sell both. I think they will definitely keep one. And that's just my opinion. Keegan says pretty much very similar names, also mentions all the same names, and then says Ericsson, Mount, Brandon Williams, Evans. I forgot about Brandon Williams. You lot already know how I feel about Brandon Williams. You lot know how I feel about Brandon Williams, man. I don't need to mention him. I don't even need to mention him. They need to let him go, but he's only earning like 10K at the club, man. Let him earn his 10K, man. As long as he ain't playing on the pitch, I don't care. Christian Eriksen, I think he has 1 year on his contract. So that's another one. Who else? Donny van der Beek. This is the point that United are at. Like, they can't even get rid of their deadwood. Do you know how funny that is? Do you know how much of a joke of a club that is? That they cannot even let go of players that they don't even want. They don't even want these players. And they still can't get rid of them. They can't even go to a light little Macclesfield town and be like, here's Brandon Williams. Just give us 500K. They sold Jimmy Savage. Was that his name? Did I just make up a name? Robbie Savage's son. Was it Charlie Savage? I called him Jimmy Savage. You know why? Oh my God. I had Jimmy Savile name in my head. Oh, I'm such an idiot, guys. Who the hell is Jimmy Savage? Charlie Savage. They sold Charlie Savage. Why the hell do I have Jimmy Savile's name in my head, bro? What the hell? You know why? Because I was man, I was listening to a podcast about him, basically, and it's just I'm just the actual idiot. Anyway, Charlie Savage, they literally just offloaded him. I think he went to Reading or something. It's very evident that his dad don't like United anymore when he's commentating on BT Sport, on TNT Sports. Ethan Laird sent him off to Birmingham. You're telling me they can't go to Macclesfield Town, like little Wrexham. They can't go to Wrexham and be like, they can't go to #United and be like, you know what, you don't even have to buy him. We're just gonna take him for free. Like, please, at what point do we say that United can just get a little something for players? Because out of all those lists of people that has been named, Mount's been named, Anthony's been named, first and foremost, United are never going to recoup that 100 million euros that they spent on Anthony. You lot are laughing at me in the chat, guys. It was an honest mistake. Jimmy Savage. Oh man, I might actually have to make an emoji for him now for the members. I don't endorse that. I actually don't. I might just make an emoji of Charlie Savage and put Jimmy Savage. Oh man. Koala says DVB, Donny van der Beek. Oh, I can't stop laughing. Donny van der Beek is building the legacy that actually matters in this world, family. Donny van der Beek is just here. You know what? It's funny because you leave Holland to come to Manchester. I live in Amsterdam to come to Manchester. I can imagine it's just like going from normal weather to just cold all the time. Mina is Player FC. I am not Player FC, guys. I've said it all the time. Mina's Player FC, Rashford FC. This is why we are divided as a fan base, and why we are where we are as a fan base is why we deserve this. Cab says, Mina, we're finished. You lot gotta have some faith, man. You lot gotta have some faith. Mina, we're finished. Man United can't even sell Van der Beek, Martial. These players are dead, but yet we still keep them. Dead and Gone says, Rashford is what happens when you give a good player world-class status based on hype. Did anyone actually say that he was world class? I said he had world class ability. I said that. I said he had the ability to be world class. But also, guys, there's another discussion point is like, at what age do players become world class? Or do you think like there's a window of them being world class? Obviously, it's normally when they're at their peak. Has he missed that window of potentially becoming a world class player? It's just me with hypotheticals. Martial should have been a world beater as well. Don't listen, guys. I remember when we signed him. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know much about him. Yeah, I didn't know much about him. Signed him from Monaco, I think it was. And I remember his first game. It was that Liverpool game. He came on and scored. I was in Canada watching that, and I don't think I could ever describe the feeling that I felt. Like I thought, oh my days. I thought, oh my days. United have got a world class player. The guy could barely get into the fucking France team. Excuse my language, guys. Yeah, you guys didn't hear that. You lot didn't hear that. Okay, just I need to after the stream. I need to edit that part out. What point is this? 46 minutes and 50 seconds. I need to edit that out. I accidentally just swore. But he couldn't even get into his national team. That should have been a sign for us. That should have been a sign for us. Let me go through. Big up to Kadeem. Says thank you guys for Ghana. Thank you. That's the only thing I think player that that's the only player I would say that I was disappointed with that never really made it in the academy. I thought he was a player that was going to make it. I don't know what's wrong with our academy. And you look at City selling their players for their academy players 30 million here, 20 million here, and the players that have first team experience, we're selling them for 500,000. If we get investigated by FFP, I hope. Yeah, I'm not joking, guys. If we get investigated by FFP, I hope that's where they start. They should start there. Why? I know FFP investigates, you breaking financial laws, but they need to look at the fact as to why United are selling their players for so cheap. There's a scam going on somewhere with the Glazers. I'm onto them. I'm actually onto them. They are doing a scam for some reason. Mina think Amrabat shouldn't be signed permanent. Mina, I think Amrabat shouldn't be signed permanent. He ain't Man United level. He just runs. No one was complaining when Fred did that. Well, we were. People were complaining, actually. Let me not lie. People were complaining, and I weren't, because I was a big Fred fan. I got a rule, guys. I told you what my rule is. The only time I'm playing at FC is when someone wears number 17. Number 17 is my favorite number. So anytime someone wears number 17, I stand them till the end of their time at Manchester United. I literally will ride for them every single game, because number 17 is my favorite player. In my eyes, they can't do no wrong. And that's the honest truth as to why I stand Fred so much, because he wore number 17 for so long. Now, Nani, I actually liked him. He was one of my favorite players. But Fred, Garnacho right now, I'm standing them. I'm standing them so hard because they wear my favorite number. But I think Amrabat, let me know your thoughts actually about Amrabat, because I feel like I just think I ain't seen enough for me to be like, we should keep him or we shouldn't keep him. I've seen reports that Ten Hag wants him permanently, and the recruitment team that were also responsible, they signed Højlund. The recruitment team don't want to keep him. I think he's only got a price tag of 25 million euros. Bear in mind, it's actually after a 1-year contract extension that was triggered so that Florentino could get a bit of money for him. I don't think he's not had a good campaign. Right? But let's be honest, guys. Who can we say this season has been great? Who's been our best player this season? I couldn't tell you, because we've been shit. We've sucked. I wouldn't, if we were to end the season today, I would say don't even do end of year awards for the club. I don't want to see the Manchester United end of season awards. Player of the year, players play. I don't want to see any of that, because we've sucked. So that's what I feel like with the whole Amrabat thing. It's kind of difficult for me to speak or tell you guys whether he should be signed permanently. Reguilon, another player we got on a loan. He's been good sometimes, but he's sucked as well sometimes. But then he's been out injured. Amrabat, he's been good sometimes, he's sucked sometimes, then he's on the bench. This manager is obviously adamant that at the moment, with Casemiro out, McTominay can play that role. Yeah, let's talk about the Everton game. Because the Everton, I think, have a very physical midfield. Yeah, Everton have a very physical midfield, and I will be very shocked if Amrabat doesn't play. that's a good segue to that topic. I'll be shocked if Amrabat doesn't play, because I feel like the manager will go with McTominay for height. I think that's guaranteed, and I think it will be either McTominay more in that forward role, or he'll play in that holding role. I think either way he's going to play. Whether Amrabat plays or not, I'm not too sure. Kadeem, the resident Everton fan, who I want to laugh at on Sunday, so I hope United win, says Amadou is injured. Listen, I really like Amadou and Onana. I think he's great. I thought it was going to be, coming into the season, I thought the midfield was going to be Idris Gueye, Onana, and Abdoulaye Doucouré, but it seems like Sean Dyche has other plans for Abdoulaye Doucouré, and I think Idris Gueye is sometimes a sub. I think that's his main thing. Onana would have been my main threat or my key point of interest, if you want to say, in the midfield. Let's actually go through in detail their midfield, because I'm not gonna lie, guys, I can't remember who the hell plays for them. I can't remember their starting 11. I just know that they've got the predicted line. Let's see. So, oh my days, United's injury list is actually long. So they've got 3 players out injured. United have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players out injured, plus obviously Sancho. So that's 10. The expected lineup, I think, in midfield. Let's see. Oh, they've actually got a decent team, They've actually got a decent team. I'm just looking at the Evening Standard, who have dropped a predicted started 11. I don't know why they're predicting United's starting 11 to be this. Why do they only give predicted lineups for like the big teams? Well, I want to see. What if I want to see? Oh, I forgot Ashley Young. Shout out to my boy Arnett Danjuma. You guys know what it is. If you don't know, I interviewed him back in March. If you guys want to read it, you can go on my Twitter or Instagram. You can find it on there. Should I bring up the picture? I'm joking now. I won't bring up the picture. I think they've got quite a few ex-United players. I just realized they've got Keane. Obviously, they got Young as well. Who do you think? Who's going to be, guys? Who's going to be the shock player that scores for Everton? Because let's be truthful. Let's be honest. Everton's going to score tomorrow. I think United's going to win. But I think it's in United's DNA. It's in United's football heritage this season for United to be conceding. It's literally football heritage. Young wouldn't, if he scored, I don't think he would celebrate, because I know that he loves United, isn't it? He's United, I think, through and through. I don't think he would celebrate. But, it's like when we used to play Newcastle, it was guaranteed a Longstaff was going to score against United. Don't know which one, but one was going to score. I feel like against Everton, someone's going to score. Maybe it's Abdoulaye Doucouré. I've seen so much of that long ball football that, Sean Dyche is going for, where it's just, if there's a true definition of just kick it and inshallah, that's him. That's Sean Dyche, because they've just been booting the ball upfield. It's from what I've seen, guys. Sorry, I haven't watched. I didn't watch their last game against Brentford, I think it was. I only saw the highlights. But from what I've seen, what they've been doing with Abdoulaye Doucouré, they were literally just bam and inshallah. And he's literally leaping over everyone. Oi, Harry Maguire better keep his hands down when he jumps for headers tomorrow. Oh my God. The thought of a handball, guys, is absolutely scaring the hell out of me. The thought of a handball. Big up to Ed, says big up Queen Mina. Big up. Koala says Dominic Calvin-Lewin, Tarkowski, and Malenko. They could score. Kadeem says Keane has not been playing and it's good. He's another player that I've interviewed. Shout out to Keane. shout out to Keane. The big up to Cabs gives us his team that should start. Let me try and pin it if this stops moving brazy. But he says, this is my team that should start against Everton. Onana, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Shaw, Lindelof, McTominay, Bruno, Amrabat, Pellistri, Garnacho, Martial. Oh my God, we got no Rasmus. Oh my God. I clearly didn't read the list of players that were injured. I forgot that he was injured. I forgot that he was injured. That means it's either we see Martial. It's either we see Martial, who has not. Has he started a game this season? He hasn't. I don't think he's started a game this season. So it's no Martial. Remember last season, guys? I don't know if you don't remember, but do you guys remember when Weghorst was just so crap, missing chances left, right, center, yeah? And everyone was just crying for Martial to just be fit a little bit, just be fit so you could start. I remember I was at the FA Cup. I remember I was at the FA Cup final, and the entire United section, they were just like, Martial, please, like, bring him on, bring him on, bring him on, bring him on. This season, my guy's been fit 100%, and he's not started. That's how you know the manager don't rate him no more. The man, and I'm not gonna lie, when he does play, it looks like he's lost his legs. He literally looks like he's lost his legs. He runs it in slow motion. But I think technical ability is something that you've always got, and he's always got it. But I think Rashford's starting up top. I think it's Rashford starting up top. Will Anthony play? Will the manager drop Anthony again? That's what I think. I don't know. That's hard to say, because last time I said it on stream, I was like, before a game, I think it was before the Copenhagen game or Galatasaray game, I can't remember. It was before the Copenhagen game, and I was saying there's no way the manager drops his sign and he's going to play Anthony. And then the lineups came out and he dropped Anthony, and he dropped him again after that as well. So there could be a possibility that it's Pellistri and Garnacho on the left and the right. It could be a possibility. Or it could be Garnacho and what's it called? I wonder if we see Kobe in the team. Not starting, but in the match day squad. Don't they normally announce the traveling squad? You guys have. Well, I just reminded myself. Let me go check if they've actually announced who is in the traveling squad. Because normally they keep. Oh my god, the amount of times they've posted about their Black Friday sales. Yeah, all United kits are like 50% off. Pellestri's injured too. What? Okay, let's read. Pellistri is injured. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, let's read the injury list in it, because it's Lisandro Martinez, Casemiro, Wan-Bissaka's out injured as well. So it looks like it's going to be a Dallo and Shorting if they're both fit as well. Amad Diallo, obviously, Ericsson, Pellistri, Evans, Højlund, Malacia, and then Sancho's out for personal reasons. So that's 10 players out. That is 10 players out. And they haven't even announced. This is odd because yeah, this is let me check the United website, because normally they announce the traveling squad, so we get to see who's in the traveling team. Wan-Bissaka injured again. Guys, that the thought of that front line is actually I don't want to see that. I do not want to see that. Let me go on United's website to see if they've announced it on there. Honestly, that front line is ass. Excuse my language. Oh my days. Oh my days, guys. That is a hot. Wambi is available. They say, I don't know why they're saying that he's injured. I don't know why they're saying he's out injured. But I'm just going to go on the website just to see if there's been. Let's see. Let me go on the website to see the official injury list. Let's have a look. Live and direct from their website. I don't get why are they telling me. Why am I on the United website and they're telling me about Mason Mount is also out as well? Damn. Facundo Pellistri sustained an injury while on international duty, according to the Manchester Evening News. Luke is fit to play. Luke Shaw is fit to play. Andre Onana is fit to play. Damn. Even Mason Mount is out injured. They don't have any information about traveling teams. Maybe we'll see it in the we'll see it in the morning, obviously, because probably damn. Is Martial injured? No, surprisingly. He's the only guy that's he's been fit all season. He's been fit all season. Big up to Show in the chat says, oh no, Mount is injured. I'm devastated. Because the way that I see it, guys, the way that I see it, and I know some of you lot don't like Mount and you don't like other players, you don't think they're fit for the team. It gives you an alternative option off the bench. That's an alternative option. And I've already had my rant at the beginning of the stream regarding the whole Mason Mount thing. My criticism lies with, you know, the coaching staff and recruitment staff allowing us to buy a player that's had long-term issues with injuries. He missed a lot of games at Chelsea. He had a lot of injury problems, but not just him. We signed Rasmus Højlund, who had bare injury problems. We signed Amrabat in the summer. Even if he was alone, he had an injury problem. It seems like this team have a nice little feel for signing players that have injury issues. And this summer was a perfect example of it. So I'm more critical about recruiting. I'm more critical about the owners. And I'm more critical about the manager for even chasing a player who's had that many injuries. If you swap out garbage for garbage, you still have garbage. I think, you know what? I say this all the time about Rashford. I say it about other players, but Bruno, etc. But I genuinely don't think I think Mount might actually be the most disliked players. I genuinely think Mount might be the most disliked player. He's a player that United we signed, and I didn't see that many people excited for him. I didn't see that many people excited for the manager to sign him, or, you know, his incoming. You know, he had this whole amazing little photo shoot with the roses and the number 7 shirt and all of that. I saw no one excited about Mason Mount. Anthony's worst. Come on, Mina. I saw a lot of people excited about Anthony signing. I'm not gonna lie, guys. And the thing is, you lot go if you want receipts. I will pull up receipts about what I was saying about Anthony before he joined. I'll pull up my receipts. I didn't rate him. I still don't rate him. But Mount is a player that I think has potential to be good. Shoot me. Don't unsubscribe. Shoot me. I think Mount has a potential to be good just because I've seen what he did at Chelsea in a system that worked for him. And I think you don't have to replicate that system per se. You don't have to have the exact same system. But I think if you can, as a manager, if you can play to these people's strengths, you know, you've got a squad of players. If they all have different types of strengths and you can play to those strengths, you're a great manager. And maybe that's when people will start. I know people are saying, you know, that, you know, when Ten Hag wins something, he wins a Premier League or a Champions League or something, you know, with Manchester United, then they'll rate him. But I will generally rate him when he has these crop of players that he's brought in that all have different playing styles. They have different, you know, strengths. They have different weaknesses. When you can play to that and create the philosophy that you want to create and you're winning games, I respect it. I salute it. But Anthony, for me, is a player that I didn't think he was good at Ajax. I watched him a few times at Ajax. Didn't think he was good, but I think he was not 80 million. No way in hell did Cody Gakpo go for the price that he did, and Anthony's 80 million. Nah. But Mason Mount has had a relatively more successful career than Anthony, even though he's older. I think he's older. Yeah, he's older. Not that much older than him, actually. But still, he's had a lot more of a successful career than Anthony has. Like, let's be for real. Let's be honest. If we really want to compare shit and shit, if that's what we're saying, excuse my language, if we really want to, you know, compare, you know, mediocrity to mediocrity, is that even a word? Did I just make mediocrity? It is a word. If we want to compare mediocrity to mediocrity, yeah, Mount to Anthony, crap to crap. -10 to -10, whatever. If we want to do that, then let's be honest about ourselves and say that Mount has had a better season, has had a better footballing career than Anthony has. And Mount has shown glimpses of being able to work. There's no way in God's green earth, this amazing earth that God has created for us, that Eric Ten Hag went to Ajax for a winger when Mohamed Kudus was there and he walked away with Anthony. Nah. I'm buying that. There's something going on. I saw a TikTok, guys. Yeah. If you are on TikTok, you don't know how addictive that app is, yeah. And this is completely off topic. I saw a TikTok talking about Manchester United signing Bebe. I don't know if you guys have seen it. And basically, it was a conspiracy theory that basically United signed Bebe to cover up a doping situation with Nani. I don't know if you guys saw that. I don't know if anyone's seen the TikTok, but I'll try like paraphrase it for you lot for what I saw. So basically, this TikTok was trying to suggest that Bebe was signed by Manchester United because I think it was I want to say it was a World Cup. I don't know what World Cup it was. Maybe it was 2010 World Cup, they said. The ex-manager of Portugal, the manager of Portugal at the time was the ex-assistant coach of Sir Alex Ferguson. I think his name was Carlos Queiroz or something like that. And basically, Nani had accidentally taken something and was about to fail a drugs test. And so Sir Alex Ferguson found out about it, called up his ex-coach friend and said, please send Nani home. Just send him home. You know, let the media talk. You know, you've had a bust up with him, whatever, just send him home. So they sent him back to Carrington. Portugal had their, whatever happened with them. At the time, Bebe's agent was the same agent as the manager, and basically said the agent made United sign Bebe. And then slide some of that money to Carlos Queiroz, the manager. Now, this is just speculation, yeah? But what if Anthony was signed for that same reason? What if Anthony was signed because does he not share? Am I wrong to say that he shares an agent with Ten Hag? Am I wrong to say that? I can't remember. But why is it Ten Hag keeps going back to save players from Ajax? Is there something happening at Ajax that we're not aware of? Why is Erik Ten Hag so adamant to? I just don't get it. I know, guys, I just went on a random tangent. Allow me, it's 10 p.m. The stream was meant to be an hour and I'm 7 minutes over time. But my point is, how could Erik Ten Hag go to Ajax? How can these players, how can Richard Arnold? This is why you're going to the job center on Monday morning, Richard Arnold. This is why you're going to the job center. You're unemployed. Yeah? You're going to be unemployed for this reason because you went to Amsterdam. Mohamed Kudus is sitting in front of you like this. And you said, nah, I want that thing behind it. And you went for Anthony instead. I swear, questions have to be asked. There is no way that the manager thought, yeah, Anthony was all right in the Eredivisie. He will be amazing in the Premier League. Absolutely not. There's no way the manager thought that. There has to be some sort of criminal activity going on behind closed doors, because when I think about, Mount and all of that kind of stuff, I think, okay, Mount, I see the vision. Rasmus Højlund, I see the vision. Onana, I see the vision. Anthony, what the hell is that? What the hell is that? I just don't get it, man. Bought a player who can only run his left leg. I'm turned off from United for the rest of the season. I'll be honest, yeah? I'll be honest. This month, guys, prepare to be drained. Like, I know I started the stream so positively, guys. Yeah. But really and truly, it was a bit of, I was being fake. I was being fake positive, yeah? Okay? I didn't stream all week. Last week, I think I only streamed once. Basically, I had a death in my family. So if you follow me on Instagram or anything, you would know my grandfather passed away last week. So I wasn't really in the mood for streaming or any of that kind of stuff. So I struggled to stream last week. I only did one stream on the weekend. I only done one stream this week, sorry. But yesterday I was like to myself, you know what? I need to get back into the vibe of streaming. And also I said, I need to be, I was feeling negative over the last week or so. So I was like, I need to be positive. So when I started the stream today, I was like, let me be positive. I'm going to be positive. But I swear, 1 hour on stream with you guys has taken me back to being because I started this stream. I made the thumbnail positive. I said deduction hype. I'm not even buying into it myself, guys. I'm not even buying into it. I'm trying. Do you know when you keep telling yourself something to convince yourself that that's going to happen? I'm telling myself deduction hype. God forbid we lose on Sunday. I'm going to have to come back. I'm going to have to come back and change the thumbnail to that. Thank you guys for your messages in the chat, man. I appreciate it. It's funny because actually it's not funny. Death is never funny. But I found out just before, like 10 minutes before I went live with KG. If you guys remember, if you watch that stream back, yeah, My eyes were red, but you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell. I changed kind of the light settings and everything. And after the stream, I was speaking to KG. Obviously, KG knew. I told him. And then I said to him I didn't cancel the stream because I said he would forever roast me and say that I cancelled the stream last minute on him, even if you knew the circumstances. KG is just a troll. He would have just trolled me in public all the time. So I said I had to go through with the FIFA stream. Yes, the FIFA stream. I had to go through with it. And that's why I was so happy when I won, sorry. I was so gassed when I beat him. You lot probably thinking, why was I, talking a lot of shit to him because I knew that as soon as when I came off that stream, that was going to be my last stream for a week because I had to go to family and all of that kind of stuff. But after I came off and I told KG, we had a chat and I said to him, listen, I said, I did the stream because I don't want people to say that I was ducking you. That's it. I didn't want, I don't, and I said, I could tell the community that, but the community, the wider community at large, when you're a content creator, you got to just, you just got to affirm it. You just got to affirm it. It's one of them ones. Big up to MUFC 14 says it is normal for managers to have special interest when signing players or coaches. So Alex signed his son to play for the first team, and his brother was the chief scout. Isn't that illegal? If it was true, guys, this whole Bebe thing, is that not illegal? Basically signing a player and then sliding money to an agent to then slide it onto a person that they represent for like a little thank you. I'm sure, again, don't investigate him. Investigate the Glazers. Don't investigate him. Investigate the Glazers. Now I feel like KG went easy on you. We want a replay. KG didn't know until after the stream. He did not know until after the stream. Illegal hype. Bare illegality. Is that even a word? Illegality. Illegality. I don't know. That sounds like it could be a word. But guys, before we wrap it up, obviously, let's get in with predictions. We tried to do team news. We tried to predict this lineups, but we just realized that half the team is out. So we just got to take whatever we are given on Sunday. Honestly, I think we just got to take it. I said I was feeling optimistic. This month is honestly, I think, make or break it. Make or break it. For me, I think, we've got Everton. We've got so many games this month. We've got 2 Champions League games, Bayern Munich being one of them. Galatasaray away. Good luck. We got Chelsea, we got Newcastle, we got Liverpool. I think we got Villa as well somewhere in there. We got Everton. I think we got 7 Premier League games just this month and then 2 Champions League games. Bro, bit of a sticky one still. Bit of a sticky one. This is make or break for Ten Hag. I will be very honest. I'm saying we need to win at least 75% of the games. United need to win at least 75% of the games. Let's be real. Champions League is not something that I feel like is far out of reach. I think the biggest thing with the Champions League stuff is that we have to count on other teams dropping points. And we never make it easy for ourselves. United never make it easy for themselves. If they had just done the business against the other teams, we wouldn't be in this situation. But now they have to hope that they win at Galatasaray next week, which is a 5:45 kickoff, by the way, next Wednesday, guys. It's an early one. So we have to hope that it's 3 points. Bayern Munich at Old Trafford, final day of Champions League group stages. Bayern Munich comfortably through, but I don't think that they will rest their players. I think they'll still come with a strong lineup. Then we got 7 Premier League games in the month, which are all, for me, you have to win. You have to win. Liverpool must win, especially for what they've done. For what they've done in the past, there's no way we can be like, yeah, a light 1-0 against us, I'll take it. No. United need to be on job. But, I feel like we know how United have been against the big clubs this season. Spurs, we haven't won against anyone. We lost to Spurs, we lost to City, we lost to Arsenal. Who else have we played? We ain't played Chelsea yet, we ain't played Liverpool yet, and we ain't played Newcastle. All of whom we're playing just this month. In this month. Damn. You lot are... Damn, guys, it's Friday night. Why are you not being so negative? Guys? It's Friday night and the feeling's right. Show says Everton 1-0. Damn. Suleiman saying 4-0 Everton. God damn. Koala saying 3-0. Even predicting the goal scorers. We are a mid-table team. Eric Ten Hag out. This is Troy Superstar's brother, guys. It has come to my attention it has come to my attention, guys, that this is Troy Superstar's brother. It's come to my attention. Not Troy Superstar's burner. This is Troy Superstar's brother. If you guys are wondering who this is mini Troy Superstar. It's literally, he's like 4 years younger than Troy Superstar. Don't ask me how I know this, but I know this, guys. I know this. Eric Ten Hag needs time to cook. When we have nothing to lose, he'll play his football. Crazy that Koala's saying that Ten Hag needs time to cook when Koala is Ten Hag out. How many people in the chat are Ten Hag out? How many of you lot are Ten Hag out? Problem is we don't even draw games instead of losing. Is stupidity. It's true. That's the frustrating thing, is that we don't even draw. It's just loss. It's just loss after, like, this team don't know how to lose. 3-2 Everton. The Everton fan in the chat is the only person that thinks United's gonna win. Guys, big up to Kadeem always. The Everton fan in the chat is the only person that thinks United is gonna win. Everyone who supports United thinks they're gonna lose. Oh man. Oh guys, come on, man. It's Friday night. I'm in a good mood. I'm feeling happy. I've had a good few days. I've had a good day today. You know, it's Jum'ah, it's Friday, holy day. But guys, come on, man. We got a beat for real. Are you lot genuinely saying this because you actually think United are gonna lose? Because conceding, someone said in the chat 4-0. Who is it? Someone said 4-0. Suleiman said 4-0. You're basically saying that Everton will score. Let's go look at Everton's past fixtures. Come. I want to see how many times Everton have scored 4 in the Premier League this season. Because you're telling me that this is the first time they're going to do it this season. I mean, it seems like with United, it always seems to be the case that, you know, records are there to be broken. But guys, come on. Let's go back to the beginning of the season. Yeah, let's go back to the beginning of the season. Because there is no way you lot are telling me that we're holding 3 or 4 against Everton. I'm not having it, guys. I'm not having it. And the resident Everton fan here is saying that United are gonna win. Come on, guys. Come on. All right, let's see. Have they scored 4 goals this season? I'm just having a skim. The most goals they've scored, I think they scored 3 against Palace. Oh wait, I went back to the wrong year. Sorry, guys. I went to 2022. They didn't score. Okay, let's start from here. Let's go. Season started on the 12th of August. So they've held 4 against Villa. I remember that game. They held 4, but they've scored 3 against Brentford. Okay, they've scored 3 against Brentford. They've scored 3 against Bournemouth. They've scored 3 against Burnley, but that was in the cup. And then they scored 3 against Palace. So they've put 3 past, guys, the teams that have caused us problems this season. We beat Brentford. Palace we lost. So they are capable of scoring 3, but come on, guys. The teams that they're scoring 3 against are putting up a fight. Palace finished that was 3-2, and I remember Idris Igea scored a last-minute winner, and then he did the Danjuma celebration. I remember he scored a last-minute winner. Bournemouth 3-0 as well. Is that when they're home? They beat Bournemouth 3-0 at home. They beat Crystal Palace away from home, and they beat Brentford away from home. So maybe they do better when they're away rather than when they're at home. I'm not too sure, but I will say be a bit more positive, guys, a bit more optimistic. Everton have played well recently and have created chances all season. One of the highest XGs in the league. I know football has moved towards the XG lifestyle, the stats lifestyle, etc. I've been really impressed with Beto. I think that's his name. I think he's been benched by Sean Dyche alongside my boy Dan Juma and DCL or DLC, whatever his name is. Calvin Lewin is in the lineup, and I think it's Decore that plays up top as well as a second striker. I just think he's there for hype, if I'm being honest. I just think he's there for hype. 1-0 United, says Cabs. Onana last minute header. You think our goalkeeper's gonna score last minute? You think the only thing I'll say, guys, is I wouldn't be surprised if it's a shit 0-0 result. And what are the Premier League thinking? Sorry, guys. What are the Premier League thinking? Putting Liverpool and City at 12:30 on a Saturday. Do they not think that people have lives? Do they not think that those kind of games, in my opinion, should not be an early kickoff on a Saturday? I'm sorry, guys, because I was just about to say Super Sunday is, that's people look forward to Super Sunday. But I would not be surprised if this is a snooze fest. Mina, who the hell is gonna score? I'll say it's gonna be Bruno or McTominay. Imagine that's how far we've fallen, guys. That's how far we've fallen that we predict that our midfielders are going to score goals for us. There are two of our top goal scorers. Højlund, I think, as well, Champions League. Casemiro is the top goal scorer as well. But I think Bruno's got the most goals. I'm going to say it's a Bruno McTominay goal. I think it's going to be a scrappy game. Like, I think it's going to be like end-to-end scraps. Don't be surprised if Everton are like hitting the woodwork and that kind of stuff. Don't, like, I genuinely think that who's gonna have a howler first, guys, tomorrow? Andre Onana or Maguire? Given the fact how Maguire was playing in an international break, he looked a bit shaky. He looked a bit questionable. So who do you lot think is gonna have who's gonna make a mistake first? Amrabat first goal. If Lil Yo-Yo, if you wear your Amrabat shirt, that might be good luck. That might be good luck if you wear your Amrabat first. Your Amrabat shirt. I actually need to order my Yaqub shirt, guys. That's what I need to order. I said I was going to get a shirt that says Yaqub number 5 on the back. So hopefully it will come in time. If I order it today, you know it's on sale everywhere. Everywhere is on sale. Maguire is back. Onana and Maggie's gonna definitely come back with mistakes. I feel like because he went. I feel like last international break he had a good international break and he came back confident. But whereas now I feel like if he's coming back a bit more, if he's coming back with a bit of weight on his shoulders, because he's made mistakes. He's lucky that that run of 20 seconds of football was the most. If I was a true England fan, I would have been like, that's scary. If he did that at United, I would have been shook. I would have been shooketh. I would have been so shook. But he didn't. He did that at England. I hope he got all his mistakes out of him. I hope he got all his mistakes out of him. That's what I'm hoping. But I'm not hoping, and this is not me wishing for any mistakes for Onana or wishing for any mistakes from Maguire. I want them all to drop 10 out of 10 performances, honestly. Maguire always has a mistake. Big up to TL says Maino, Amrabat, Bruno. I just, you know what? This whole Maino thing is this Maino thing is very it's an interesting debate. It's an interesting debate that I think is kind of unwarranted. I think if he is eased into the first team, like 20 minutes here, 10 minutes here, then a starting opportunity, I'm here for it. But throwing him in, making his senior debut, he's made his debut in the FA Cup, but to make his first team starting Premier League debut, the first game after international break, after he's just come back from an injury, I don't think that's wise. I don't think that's wise. And if Ten Hag again is true to his word, what did he say last season? What did Ten Hag say last season? And what does he say continuously this season? He always says that he will not throw young players into the deep end just immediately, kind of thing. He'll let them ease their way in. But if he does that with Maino, then I know this man's a liar. I've already given you examples earlier in the stream of how he lies about stuff. But if he actually does that, then he's a bloody liar. He's an absolute big liar. He's a big, bold liar. No pun intended, but he's a big, bold liar. Because there's no way that you preach all that time saying, oh, ease academy players in. Don't throw them into the deep end. Give them an opportunity to play with the first team. Give them 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, then they start. We've seen it with Pellistri. Guys. Pellistri didn't start this season until he actually played a few times. So I'll be very shocked if he does that with Kobbie Mainoo. And this is not me saying that Kobbie Mainoo cannot play first team football. I think somebody's, who was it that said it? I think it was Lil Yo-Yo. I think Lil Yo-Yo, please announce yourself in the chat if you're there. I think Lil Yo-Yo was the one that said that Kobbie Mainoo will be better than Caicedo. I think it was, if you lot remember, earlier at before, I think it was pre-season. I think it was a stream that we were doing some wild takes. But that's what he said. And you know what? I won't say he'll be better than Caicedo, but I think he has the ability to be up there in terms of that level of players. I think he has the ability. And it'll be very, very interested to see if Ten Hag throws him in there into the deep end. I don't think it's something he would do. But then again, he lies all the time. He's just a liar. He's just a big fat liar. So I don't know. The Varane beef is shocking. We spoke about it earlier in the stream. We did mention it earlier in the stream. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Varane. I don't think he's going to play tomorrow. I don't see him playing. I don't see him starting. I just think him and Ten Hag are too far gone. I think him and Ten Hag are too far gone. And it's a matter of just riding the wave for the next month and basically just looking for your options out in January. And the way that I see it is, if they want you out of the club, then you know you're not wanted. Amrabat is a complete dud. What? What the hell does this even mean? What does a dud mean, guys? Is that an insult? Let me Google it. Hold on. Is that like an English term? What does dud mean? So it's got two meanings. A thing that fails to work properly or is unsatisfactory or worthless, or it means clothes. So Amrabat is a complete clothes, or Amrabat is a complete, basically useless thing. I think it's the first. I think it's the useless one. I think that's what they're trying to get. Big up to We Deserve Better says, it's amazing that our 72 million striker still would not have scored a PL goal by December. Well, firstly, he's out injured, number one. Number two, I do think there is questions to be asked. Like, and this is the guy that's had how many hours of football he's played in the Premier League. I think it's warranted to have questions. I think it's definitely warranted. But he scored bare goals in the Champions League. So, and the worst thing is, guys, the most annoying thing about it all is that he scored goals in the Champions League and it's not going to take us anywhere. It has no use for us. Those goals have no use. It's going to look good on his stat sheet at the end of the season, but they are useless goals. Whereas in the Premier League, if he scored those goals, how many goals has he scored? 6, 7? If he scored those goals in the Premier League, we might have won some of the games we've lost. We would have been higher up in the table. But all those goals that he scored, it's just useful. 5 goals. It's useless. It's useless because the Champions League is done. That group stage is done. I am making Welcome to Manchester United Jean-Claude Todibo compilation. Send it to me when you're done. Send it so I can familiarize myself with him. I familiarized myself with him in the summer and we never got him. So send that way. It's like Casemiro's goals in the Carabao Cup. We're out, guys. Let me wrap it up here. It's been a night. This is what I like about doing late night streams. Yeah, it's just I feel like the vibe is different. I feel like the vibe is different for doing streams later in the evening. And I told you, lot, I will probably lean towards doing them. I said I was going to lean towards doing a lot more late streams when it comes to doing previews and that, and obviously still doing other streams. As of, guys, I've also decided I'm going to start sharing stream schedules during the week. I'm going to start doing stream schedules just so that people know when I'm doing streams. So if you guys don't know, you could go on the community tab. I posted it yesterday about the stream schedule for the weekend. Tomorrow morning, yes, I'm doing a morning stream, guys. I am doing a morning stream. I'm going to start doing a new stream called Them Other Guys. And I know you're probably wondering what the hell does that mean? It literally says it in the name, Them Other Guys. I'm going to do streams ahead of match days just to hate on other teams. And of course, it's only right I do it before the Liverpool and City game. So I can hate them other guys. Because I don't know if you went to school in the UK or that. Them other guys is like, you're not naming them by name. You're just saying, oh, them other guys. Irrelevant. But they're relevant enough for me to do a stream. I'll do a stream tomorrow at 11 a.m. UK time. So come through. We're going to talk about City, Liverpool, and obviously all the other games on Saturday as well. Going to talk about the lineups, all of that kind of stuff. I'm going to share with you my FPL team because I've done a big risk again. and I hope it pays off. I hope it pays off. That's all I have to say. And then obviously we're back with women's content on Sunday. We've got a vibe along again for the Bristol City versus Manchester United women's game. And then we'll do a stream later Sunday evening to react to the Everton game. You guys know what it is. So every Monday and Thursday, I will share stream schedules just so that you lot can hold me to accountable, to be consistent. Because the last, I'd say, month or two, I've not been that consistent. And like I said, I'm up in the content. I'm going to have some guests on. Might have a guest on tomorrow morning. You never know. Make sure you tune in to find out, and make sure you turn on your post notifications. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. You guys already know what it is. Big up to everyone. Hope you all have a wonderful Friday night. Shall I tell you what I'm off to do? I'm off to play Ultimate Team and just get angry nonstop. That's what I'm off to do. I'm off to play Ultimate Team. Just get angry. Right now, I'm 7-4 for weekend record. I got 9 more games, I think. And I need to win all 9 of them. So that's what I'm off to do. And I'll be back tomorrow morning, inshallah, God willing. I'll be back tomorrow morning for them other guys where we're just gonna be haters, of course, and then back with women's content. If you don't want to become a member, you can. Link is pinned in the chat right now. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get custom content, and a video is on its way for members over the next week or so. And obviously you can support the growth of this channel because we're growing, guys. We're growing and we're going places. I hope you guys all have a wonderful Friday night, and I'll see you lot tomorrow morning bright and early. Make sure you turn on your post notifications. Until tomorrow, guys, it's your girl Mina. As always, you lot already know what it is. Big up. Peace.